This is my leg. For some reason, they cut it open and like someone had a hand in it. Someone had cut my leg open, and I don't know why. And they had cut it open right here too. Said my leg was broke, and it's been like this since I was like 12 years old, you know. And growing up, you know, I would be shy and quiet a lot. I would go to different churches and stuff like that, you know. I was sexually abused since I was like in elementary school. According to my birth certificate, my birthday, it says the date of March 4th, 1984. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. 1984. I was the youngest of what they called our family. The three older males, because they say you have to say male because the birth certificate says male. I mean, okay, here it is. I was having a hard time finding it. It's right there. I was sexually abused and physically abused a lot, you know. The other males were like physically abusive and sexually abusive to me and to females, you know. I didn't want to be like them, you know. It's been a crazy year for me, you know. I'm a mental health patient, and I've been a mental health patient ever since I was in elementary school. I would take pills, and I go to River Edge. See, it's one here. You think it's on Aaron Highway. It's right there. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Look, see, it's her name and my birthday. See, it's March 4th, 1984. And says problem. See, where is it? This is what they say. They say I have schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type, and think it's post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder or something. It's right there. It's schizoaffective disorder, bipolar. And I am not a threat to myself or others. I don't have any victims of any crimes, violent crimes, like murder or stuff like that. I don't have any victims of any kind of child abuse or sex abuse or any of that stuff. I don't know why they did that stuff to me. But, it's been a crazy year for me. See, I got my cards. I went to River Edge, you see. And just that the first of the year, it's been a crazy year. See, it's like this gave me this card. A lady gave me this card. And I went to my appointment. See, he's there. He's the same month. And then I went to my other appointment last month. Let's see this time. And I've been going there for years, because this was in 2021. So, years later, I went to my appointment last month. And that's what they say I've been doing. I don't know, they say compliant. It says I have been compliant. I don't know. I think they mean I've been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And with my leg like that, I be in this chair. When I be in my room and I stay at this hotel downtown in the city of Macon, Georgia. I carry this book bag, this backpack. I got it at Walmart. See, I got it at Walmart. It's a good bag, It was raining outside, and it's a good bag because when it rains, it keeps the stuff dry inside the bag. And I don't know where my wife is, but this is the name my marriage license says. And this is the address where I am at. See? Macon in Georgia. And this is the address. And see, there's some more mail. See? Say you need at least 2 forms. 5 Macon, Georgia. And see, it's the same name my marriage license says. See? Well, it's falling apart, but you see it better here. See, it says April R. Williams. April. It's the name it says, you know. And there was reports of identity theft and stuff like that because someone's been using her name. Someone's been using this name, and it's the same name my marriage license says. And I've had a marriage license since 2004. So I have a copy of my marriage license, 2004. And it's been more than 19 years having a marriage license. So I have a marriage license. And I always say that all the time when I make these videos because I think they told me that at River Edge or something. Yes, it's in my River Edge paper. It says something about can't see it. Oh, I see, it says problem. I can't see it. It says, okay, it says my name. I don't have my glasses, and so it says, I think it says, see, it's right here. It says my name. It says Brandon. And it says that I was supposed to have a activity and okay, it says right here. Okay, here it is. And that I was supposed to self-report and the problems. See, it says my name and something about self-report. So, like, this is like they call it self-management and self-report. And yes, it's been a crazy year. Like I said, at the first of the year, I went to get my appointment, and they gave me this card. And then I went to my appointment date. It was like the same month, and I went to my appointment last month. There, see, I don't know if you can see it, but let me see. Maybe it's can screen. See, it's the address in the making and the phone number. And I don't know where my wife is or the children that they say was born August 31st, 2004, July 18th, 2006, and October 6th, 2008. I have a marriage license. It has my name. It has her name. It has my name. And it has her name. And it's like, it's different last name for my name and a different last name for her name. Because growing up, being sexually abused, it was people, that said they were brothers and sisters having sex with each other. And it was people that said they were brothers and brothers having sex with each other. And it was people saying that they were having sex with their own family members. So being married, they say, if your last name is different from her last name, why does your marriage license look like that? Well, this piece of paper looks like this because it's old, since 2004. And since my last name is a different last name, then everyone would know that she and I are not brother and sister, According to my birth certificate and my name, I don't have a sister, you know. Like I said, it's been a crazy year, I went to my appointment last month being a mental health patient, and I made sure that, at the address where I'm at, I pay my rent, you see. It's for the whole month, $725. It's for this month and last month. See, his name's see. Last month, see, it was from 4 to 5, and I paid $725. It says in at least 2 forms. Okay, so see, this was from. You have to look right here. This is from 5 to 6, and that's the month. 725. And this is from 4 to 5. You see 725 in my name. And this is from three to 4. And it was 705 then, because they went up on the rent. And then it was from 2 to 3. It was 705 to 3. And this one, since the other one is from 1 to 2, and it was 705, and the date is the 1st. month and stuff like that because they had a holiday and had to wait to pay it for then. But this is from the first of the year. So I've been here all year, and longer than that because, I have other receipts from like being here for a long time. Let me see. It's like, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. This one. 12. See, I have other ones. So I always pay the whole rent, and I keep up with my receipts and my paperwork and stuff because, the self-reporting and evidence of me doing what I'm supposed to do with the money that I get disability. They say, mentally, my River Edge papers and stuff, mental abuse and physically abused and stuff like that. And I have these. It's from Walmart. I have these. And I have another one. And it's from Walmart. Because, when I go outside, I walk with this. And I use both hands so I won't fall down. Because, I never know what my leg feels like. And, my other leg was broke. This one, being physically abused as a child. The lady that, her name, birth certificate, she was using this name. She was very abusive to me growing up. The 3 older males and the men that she would have sex with were sexually abusive or physically abusive to me. Some of them were sexually abusive to me. They sexually abused me in some type of way. Or some of them were physically abusive to me. They physically abused me some type of way, Or they all mentally and emotionally abused me because, being born here and moving to this state, says a lot about me not wanting to be around them or with them because of the abuse, the sexual abuse and the physical abuse. And being a mental health patient, I have evidence of me doing what I'm supposed to do, self-reporting, not being ashamed of looking right in the camera and saying, I was sexually abused. I was mentally and emotionally abused, and I was physically abused as a child a lot, like the whole time, you know, to the point where as soon as I got a chance to get out of that state, I went to another state and, you know, I paid every month, you know, for a way of being away from them. They used the word family as a weapon growing up. The people who abused me, they would say, that's your mom, or that's your brother, or that's your sister, or that's your family, or that's, you know, your family and stuff like that, you know. Because I didn't really have a sister, but, you know, those were the words that they would use for others, you know, as a weakness. They would tell others that, well, that's your sister and you're supposed to forgive her and love her anyway, no matter what she did to you. And I would be like, what? But I don't want to be the one for giving them a chance to abuse people again. I don't want to be the one for giving them the chance of abusing people again, because that's what I was taught. It was like, well, what if when you keep saying you're supposed to be forgiving, like, what if that means you just end up being the one for giving them a chance of abusing you again? Saying that's your brother, or that's your sister, or that's your mom, or that's your dad. So I was taught to say, don't use those types of words or those types of names. Just talk about the character of the person. So instead of saying that's your brother, or that's your sister, or that's your mom, or that's your dad, the way that I was told is you say, it's the person who sexually abused me. It's the person who was a grown person having sex with a child. It's the person who made girls into single moms. It's the person who murdered a person before. It's the person who broke my leg and cut my leg open and made me disabled. It's the person who, you know, said that even though I have a marriage license, I don't know what they did or who they are, and I don't know what they did to or with my wife. So they say when you say it like that, you know, it doesn't sound like a family to me. It sounds like abusive people did abusive stuff or abusive things to a lot of different people, a lot of different beings. And since it looks like different beings or different people or different girls in the picture, I was sexually abused even though I have a marriage license, because different people, you know, seem to have been using the same name, you know, in the same marriage license, in the same, you know, from 2004, in the same birth certificate of April 30th, 1986. And I don't know if it was some kind of experiment or some kind of weird stuff that they did, you know, like with my leg and the way that it's cut open, because they said when you have a broken leg, or if you was hit by a car in a car accident, that's not usually the way that it's done. You know, it seemed like someone did some kind of experiment to me, you know, and I, according to my birth certificate, where is it? Hold on. I am 39 years old today because, you know, oh, it's the wrong way. Okay. Say 1984. And it's this way. See blanks on it. And I go to different churches and stuff like that, and I was studying like all the different religions, because if you didn't know where your wife is, and if you was told that you had a child born August 31st, 2004, July 18th, 2006, and October 6th, 2008, and she's supposed to be a girl, 14 years old, born October 6th, 2008, and he's supposed to be a boy, born July 18th, 2006, and he's supposed to be a boy, and he's grown because he's 18, because he was born August 31st, 2004. And the reason they say that he's grown is the way I was told is because according to my marriage license, when it says 2004 and April 30th, they say you're old enough when you're 18 to get a marriage license, whether you are a male or a female. So if you're 18 years old and old enough to get a marriage license, I was told you are grown. So if you was told that you have an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 14-year-old, and you don't know where they are, and you don't know where your wife is, and you have all these evidence of a marriage license, being a mental health patient, going to your appointments, paying all your rent, and you don't have any victims of any type of violent crimes or any of that stuff, or any kind of sexual abuse, you probably would feel very crazy, you know. But being crazy or feeling crazy is not a crime, you know. So, you know, I've been following my plan that they gave me, and have a key card for my room. And I don't know if my wife can see this video, but if my wife is able of seeing this video, I don't know where you all are, and there's letters here for you, and this is the address, and there's another letter for you, and this is the address, and I don't know if, you know, I didn't open any of the mail, you see. And it's the room number. I mean, I didn't open any of the mail because they say you're not supposed to open other people's mail, you know. So I don't know if, you know, if some identity theft or if they tried using your name or if they tried changing your name or if it was ever a different name, you know, for my wife. If you can see this video, you know, I am here. And just like I said, I had been studying different religions and stuff like that because going to the mental health doctors and feeling crazy, not knowing what's going on. See, a lot of people have, you know, situations going on where, you know, maybe not the same as me. Everybody doesn't have that same stuff on their leg. And everyone, you know, wasn't the youngest of what they call a family. And everyone wasn't, you know, married more than 19 years, you know, since before the age of 21, because I was 20 years old. And everyone, you know, wasn't married, you know, at the age of 18, if they say a girl was 18 on April 30th, 2004. So everybody's case is not the same, you know. It's, you know, it's different. So, you know, there was some witnesses, and this is like their website, and they invited me to, I don't know what it's called, but it was like, they invited me to an event. And see, it's in Macon. And I have the paper, you see. It's the website there. Because, you know, I believe all religions are telling the truth about something. But at the same time, I believe all religions are not telling the truth about something, you know. So it's like, you know, I read books like the Bible and the Quran and stuff, and I studied with different people. And they say that God is not a book, you know. I was talking to them about idols, and they say an idol is something that is not God, but you treat it like it is, you know. They say some people that use the Bible, that all of the people would have to tell the truth about the Bible is not a God, and the Bible is not God. And all of the people that read the Quran would have to tell the truth and say the Quran is not a God and the Quran is not God. Whatever book you read, a book is not God. They say a book is an item or an object. And when an item or an object, if you treat it like God, it is called idolatry. And it's wrong to do that, you know. It's what I was taught. When I read those stories, it would be like, it's wrong playing with souls and spirits and names, you know. So I was talking to some of the witnesses, you know. And they invited me to this event when I was talking to them. And I was talking to them about the same thing, you know. I was telling them that being a mental health patient, you know, most of the stuff that I say is stuff that they told me. And it was like, who is they? The different people that I've talked to and studied with and growing up, the different voices that I heard, whether it was people talking to me or whether it was people talking outside or whether sometimes going through mental health, whether it was just the voices I heard inside of my head, you know. And when I read those books, like, that's why I studied different religions. There would be different names, you know, of different people. There was a story about a guy named David, and when I read that story, it was about someone being a murderer. Someone murdered a man. Someone murdered a husband because they wanted to have sex with his wife, and it wasn't self-defense. They say in the story of David, someone murdered a man, and they say it was David was the murderer because he wanted to have sex with Uriah's wife, and it was not self-defense. In the same story, they said it was like a Shunammite, a little girl, and on David's deathbed, he sent an army or a group of people or his workers or servants out to kidnap a Shunammite or a little girl because he was trying to get heat on his deathbed. And so, you know, since it's a story in a book, I don't know, you know, if anyone, you know, edited it or changed it or was trying to make someone look bad. But the way I was told to speak is to say, I wouldn't want the spirit of a person who murdered someone to have sex with their wife. I wouldn't want the spirit of a person who wanted to have sex with another person's wife and actually did it and set it up and arranged for it to happen, knowing what he was doing the whole time. I wouldn't want the spirit of a person that used their position as a king or as a leader of a nation or whatever and kidnapped a little girl while he was on his deathbed because he wanted to get heat, whatever that means. And it was in the story of David. So I wouldn't want those kinds of spirits because the way people play games with names and sometimes people get blamed for stuff that they didn't do, I wouldn't want those types of spirits of being a grown person laying in the bed with a child trying to get heat after having her kidnapped and, you know, stuff like that. I wouldn't want those kind of spirits, you know. It was a story the same way about a guy in the story of Solomon. In the story of Solomon, I wouldn't want those kind of spirits of a person that had 700 wives and 300 concubines, because they say a concubine is what they call a slave, and a concubine, they say, is a sex slave. I wouldn't want those kind of spirits, the spirit of a person who has concubines and 700 wives. I'm like the first, last, and only type when it comes to being married and having a marriage license. I believe that a wife should be the first, last, and only wife when you are married. Because no one, you know, being a second wife, a person would probably feel like, why is she the first wife and you're the second wife? Are you not good enough to be the first wife? Well, why can't you be the first, last, and only wife of your marriage? You know, some people, you know, would feel that way. And you definitely probably wouldn't want to be wife number 700 because it's like being in a marriage where someone says 699 other girls are better than you and you're only good enough to be wife number 700. that would probably make you feel real bad being wife number 700. But a lot of people say no, it would make you feel real bad. It would make you feel real bad being wife number 2. Because why are you not good enough to be his first, his last, and his only wife? You know, stuff like that. And I was talking to the witnesses about those same types of situations, you know. And it was like, well, yeah, according to the Bible, the Quran, and all of those books, whatever that they call God, there was never any story about a God telling anyone to have more than one wife. There are stories about people having more than one wife, but there are no stories about a God telling anyone to have more than one wife. That those men did that on their own. And those same men taught women, ladies, females, and girls about having more than one husband, because some girls tried having more than one husband. Sometimes they would call it a husband or a baby daddy or a side dude, or you know, like a dude on the side, or like girlfriend, boyfriend. Basically, they was trying to be in a sexual relationship with more than one male. Or some of them was trying to be in a sexual relationship with a male and a female, and still said they was a husband and a wife while having other sex partners at the same time. And I do not participate in those kinds of relationships. No, no, no. I believe in the first, the last, and the only, you know. And what that means is one wife, that's it. One husband, that's it. No more. So, you know, when I was reading the Bible and stuff like that, it was other stories. It was a story, you know, about the Son of God, the Son of Man, Jesus, Emmanuel. Some people say Yeshua, and that's why I say I can't really focus on the name, because people would argue about the name. So if you don't use the name and you focus on the message, basically they say someone gave their life and died on a cross for people's sins, and something about the precious blood and stuff. And being, you know, a person that is a witness, and I have talked to other witnesses of different types, you know, different types of witnesses. Since I am a witness and I have talked to different types of witnesses, they say the same thing, that I wouldn't want the blood of someone else being used for me, you know, because, you know, they say that if a person said that they died for you, and now they want you to die for them, and fair is fair, I wouldn't want to be part of those types of situations. So they say, as a witness, my wife, my family, and me can say, I don't want to owe anyone my soul or my spirit because of someone who they say died on a cross for someone's sin or did something with their blood. I don't want to be part of any bad soul contracts or stuff like that, owing blood or your soul or your spirit for some murder or crucifixion of someone, whether they said they died on a cross or was hung on a tree or died on a stake or a pole. I was not part of it. I never asked anyone to die for me. And with my God as my witness, if my God asked me, Brandon, you know, they say my name is Brandon. If my God asked me, Brandon, did you ever ask anyone to die for your sins or give their blood? No, No, I did not. And that's all you have to say. So I do not owe my soul or my spirit for anyone who died or gave their blood, because I never asked anyone to die for my sins or any of that stuff. Because some people say that, what if they asked you to do the same for them in return? So, I believe in God, and this is me self-reporting. I believe in God, and it's a mental health video at the same time for my family and for my wife, showing that I believe in God, my God, you know, um, and I wouldn't want to get in trouble, for someone dying or giving their blood for other people's sins or any of that stuff like that. And I wouldn't want any of those bad spirits, that I read about in the Bible or in the Quran that those other men had, No, no, no. So, the way I was taught, if you die for your sins, you die for your sins, It's not love when you want another person dying for you. You wouldn't want your wife dying for you. You wouldn't want your husband dying for you. You wouldn't want your children dying for you. You wouldn't want your parents dying for you. So if someone was a son of God or a child of God, you wouldn't want a child of God dying for you. Because if someone died for you, if you asked them to, or if you set it up and arranged it for it to happen, what if they asked you to do the same for them, and fair is fair, and you had to do it? And that is why I don't want any part of those types of situations. So I never asked anyone to die for my sins. And I am a witness, and my God knows. Brandon, did you ever ask anyone to die for your sins? Mm-mm. Well, then it's not my problem. Not my problem. Because I wouldn't want those bad soul ties attached to anyone's death or anyone's murder. So my family and my children, if you're able to see this video, and my wife, if you're able to see this video, this is what I've learned studying different religions and different spirits. I never used any of the names or called on any kind of angels or any kind of names of any archangels or any kind of spirits for any kind of favors or deals or magic or powers. And I never will, because you never know what they may ask for in return if you do. It's the way I was taught. And I don't make wishes, because making wishes, they say that's called playing with genies, and that they might ask for something in return. Sometimes they may ask for your soul and your spirit. And you wouldn't want to end up in a place where forever and ever and ever and ever you